Good evening. Sussex Police is due to axe another 400 officers as the force looks to save more than £11 million. These cuts are in addition to the 400 officers who've gone since 2010. Today they explained how they would save the money and still protect the people of Sussex. But with such huge cuts, is this really possible? John Ryle reports.
Question time for the Chief Constable of Sussex, facing yet another raid on his budget, required to enforce cuts of £11.3 million this year. In a 2-hour scrutiny session live-streamed on the internet, Sussex Police and Crime Commissioner Katie Bourne wanted to know how he was going to do it without compromising public safety.
It is an enormous amount of money, and of course it's on the back of already having made significant savings as well, and more savings to make in the future. There's a real balance we have to strike between making the savings and investing in the new demands, meeting the new demands that are coming at us.
But Sussex Police Federation says it's more serious than that this latest round of savings, with 3 more years of cuts ahead, will hit policing at all levels, in all areas.
Since 2010 to 2015, we lost over 400 officers in Sussex, and the plan from 2015 to 2020 is to lose a further 500. That impacts us across the piece. So officers covering from response through to investigations, RPU, dogs, all will have seen reductions.
And this is one place where reduced police visibility is felt strongly. Cuts here in Uckfield and at what was a fairly major police base at East Grinstead have had a big impact.
I just wonder, if you did need them, where are they? You know, how long are you going to have to wait for somebody if you're in dire straits or in trouble?
You don't see any policemen walking around, and if you phone for the police, they're busy or they haven't got enough people to do it.
And then, says the Police Federation, there is the impact on the officers the cuts leave behind.
We're also seeing a big increase in mental health problems for officers just facing an increased workload and constant pressure to get things done.
Constant pressure to do more with less, and a blunt warning today from rank-and-file officers that this is an austerity budget too far, putting the public and the police at risk. John Ryle, ITV News.
Well, this was the reaction from Sussex Police and Crime Commissioner Katie Bourne.
Crime is changing, and it's important that the model for policing changes with it as well. And so the Chief Constable and I are rolling out a new policing programme across Sussex, which is looking at how Sussex Police adapt to modern crime. And part of this investment and the rise in precept will go into paying for more officers in local policing, because that's what the public tell me is important to them.
And you can see that interview in full on our website. Just head to itv.com/Meridian. Now, it will be a world-leading cancer centre that should save thousands of lives, and work to build the multi-million-pound research unit in Southampton is nearing completion. But incredibly, most of the money has been raised from donations, as Richard Jones now explains.
Charlotte Moss has been following the centre's development with great interest. She was diagnosed with skin cancer 6 years ago and was treated with a new immunotherapy drug, which researchers from the university helped to develop.
It was explained to me that your body's own immune system is very, very good at what it does. And it's doing, this drug is trying to boost your immune system to say, it's okay, find the cancer cells, they know it's there, just go and attack them and do your job.
Charlotte has now been cancer-free for 5 years. And many other patients like her are benefiting from the work of researchers like Dr. Ed James. He says immunotherapy drugs can work in some cases where all other treatments have failed.
We have patients who have exhausted all the current therapies. They essentially have nowhere else to go. And with these new immunotherapy drugs that release the brakes on these killer T cells, we're seeing these people with cancers, tumours throughout their body, actually seeing an amazing reaction to these drugs, so that these cancers are actually shrinking very quickly within weeks and months and actually disappearing to make them cancer-free essentially.
But the drugs don't work for everyone, and researchers here will be trying to find out why, as well as carrying out more trials and helping to treat increasing numbers of patients. By the end of the year, Ed will be working in here, brand new state-of-the-art labs that will enhance Southampton University's reputation as a world leader in cancer research. Donor James Vernon, who studied at Southampton and made his money in banking, has just given £1.3 million to the centre.
It takes us over the 20 million mark, which is a real push to the campaign that's been going for only about 18 months. So we've raised that 20 million, almost 21 million, entirely from philanthropic donation.
The total cost of the project is 25 million, so while fundraising has gone well, there's more to do. The next push for funds will be made on World Cancer Day on February the 4th. Richard Jones, ITV News, Southampton.
Empty council buildings in Brighton and Hove could be opened up for homeless people. The Green Party plan has been backed by the council if community groups and charities are willing to step in. Brighton has more than 140 rough sleepers, the biggest increase in the country.
About 60% of those were they didn't have a local connection, they weren't from Brighton. And the reason they're coming to our city is it's a very friendly, tolerant city, it's a nice place to be. And people can get actually a lot of good homeless services here.
A 60-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of murdering a woman on the Isle of Wight. Police were called to the Avenue in Gurnard last night. A 45-year-old woman was found seriously ill and she died at St Mary's Hospital. The man from Sandown remains in police custody. Now, Sussex-based Olympian Sarah Ayton is an expert on the water, winning gold in Athens and Beijing. But she's somewhat of a novice as a hockey. So a charity horse race down Goodwood Straits in front of thousands will be tough. And Sarah has until August to prepare for the Magnolia Cup, as Emma Wilkinson now explains.
2008, Sarah Ayton celebrating the second Olympic gold medal of her sailing career. Now she's back in training with her performance coach, but this time for a very different challenge.
And I want you to try and adopt your race position.
She's learning to become a jockey for the Magnolia Cup, a charity race at the Qatar Goodwood Festival on Ladies' Day. To compete, she must pass a series of rigorous tests.
She's going to be riding a horse anything up to 40 miles an hour, and for 2 minutes she's going to be absolutely pushed to the limits. Her legs are going to be burning, her heart's going to be pounding. She's going to need to be as fit as she can be.
Having 2 small kids, it's, life is busy, but I've got the bike set up in the kitchen, so whilst they're having breakfast, I can do my interval training, and then when they go to bed, I get out in the gym and do my weight training. So everything that we do is really designed to fit around my family.
Sarah has around 6 months to be race ready. This year, the Cup will raise money for Place to Be, a children's mental health charity. It's also about celebrating inspirational women. The silks will be made by prominent female fashion designers, and the 12 riders have all achieved huge success in their respective careers. What they have in common is little or no experience of horse riding. Sarah tried it once as a child.
When you line up on the start line with 5 furlongs ahead of you, just straight grass, and you've got a horse underneath you who's raring to go, it's a scary experience, and these guys are so brave taking this on.
Brave and, in Sarah's case, determined to win. And if she does, could a change of sport be on the cards?
You never know, do you? I think if you love something and you're really enjoying it, then you just never know where it will lead to.
Emma Wilkinson, ITV News.
And we'll let you know how she gets on. Now, what does the weekend weather have in store? With all the details tonight is Simon Parkin.
From sleet to the slopes, driving through Europe. Eurotunnel the Shuttle sponsors ITV Meridian weather.
Good evening, and I don't know about you, but I'm going to give the bed socks a miss tonight because things are looking a bit milder as we head through the next few days. The downside is they're going to turn a bit more unsettled too, and there will be some rain at times, but the general trend is for things to warm up. Now, of course, they start at a very cold base, so it's not necessarily going to feel that warm as we head through the weekend, but certainly milder air coming in. You'll notice it more by Sunday and into Monday. That's when temperatures will be back up into double figures by day, although, to be honest, tonight, they're not that bad either. 4 or 5 the overnight low. The rain continues to work its way up from the south, generally quite patchy, and that merges with a rain band out to the west of more persistent rain, and that's going to work its way eastwards as we head through tomorrow morning. So a bit of a damp start to Saturday. Some of that rain, as I say, are likely to be quite persistent for a time, but then it clears away. We're left with a fair bit of cloud, and then the cloud breaks up quite nicely from the west as well. Some good sunny spells into the afternoon. Stays breezy along the coast and around the Isle of Wight, and there will be a few showers, and whilst most of them will be light, 1 or 2 of them could be on the heavy side too. And then Sunday we should get away with a dry start before the next lot of rain arrives later on.
Eurotunnel the Shuttle sponsors ITV Meridian weather.
So a wet weekend ahead, and that is all from us for tonight. We are back tomorrow afternoon at 5:30, but from me and from all of us here on the Late Team, thanks very much for your company. Have a great weekend. Good night.